The man's furious shout echoed across the marble grounds. "Do you know who I am?" His voice sliced through the silence, a finger pointing arrogantly at the young soldier standing like stone before him. Cameras rose from the crowd, whispers rippled, but the soldier did not flinch. He stood stiff, unblinking, his face painted with the fresh red imprint of a slap. Before we move further into this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. Let's dive in. The wealthy executive's chest heaved as he adjusted his tailored suit, his expensive watch glinting in the grey daylight. He had barged past the ropes meant to keep visitors at a respectful distance from the tomb of the unknown soldier. His polished shoes clicked loudly on the sacred ground. He thought rules did not apply to him. The guard, decorated with a medal gleaming on his chest, did not move. His training demanded silence, composure, absolute devotion. Not even the humiliation of an open-handed strike could break his duty. Around them, gasps from stunned onlookers filled the air. One child tugged on her mother's sleeve and whispered, "Why is he yelling at the soldier?" The man puffed himself up, his voice dripping with entitlement. "I sit on the boards of 3 companies. I've dined with senators. You're nothing but a statue in a costume. I could buy and sell men like you." He leaned close, his spit flecking the guard's cheek, but still the soldier's eyes never flickered. What the crowd didn't know, what the man had failed to see, was the story stitched behind that uniform. This wasn't just any soldier. His name was Private Dawson. He had grown up in a small Midwest town, the son of a mechanic and a schoolteacher. As a boy, he had lost his older brother in combat overseas, a tragedy that left his family scarred but inspired Dawson to serve. He had promised at his brother's grave, "I'll carry the duty you left behind." For Dawson, guarding the tomb was not a job. It was sacred. Every step, every second of silence was an oath to honor the countless unnamed heroes who had given everything. Each tick of his boot was a promise that their sacrifice would never be forgotten. The executive didn't care. He waved his hand dismissively. "Move out of my way. I'll walk where I please. My money pays for this place anyway." He shoved toward the barrier, his arrogance dripping in every step. But just then, a commanding voice broke the tension. "Step back, sir." A higher-ranking officer, flanked by security, strode forward. His gaze was stern, his presence commanding. The crowd hushed. The executive turned, scoffing. "Finally, someone important. Do you know who I am?" The officer's eyes narrowed. "I don't, and I don't need to, but I know who he is." He pointed to the guard, still motionless, his jaw tight with discipline. "He is a sentinel of the tomb, chosen after grueling trials, trained to serve in silence, rain or shine, night or day. He has earned the right to stand where no ordinary man can." The crowd erupted in applause, some with tears welling in their eyes. The officer continued, his voice rising with conviction. "While you boast about wealth, he carries the weight of brothers and sisters who never came home. While you demand respect, he quietly earns it. You dare strike him. You have struck at every fallen hero who rests beneath this tomb." The executive's smirk faltered. His face flushed as murmurs of disapproval surged from the people surrounding him. Phones captured every second, his arrogance immortalized. The officer took a step closer, his voice like iron. "You asked us to know who you are. Today you will be known as the man who disrespected the sacrifice of the unknown." The guards tightened their formation. The soldier who had been struck remained stoic, his cheek still marked red, but his honor untouchable. Slowly the executive's arrogance crumbled. His defiance turned into shame as he realized the crowd was no longer impressed by his wealth or status. They were moved by the silent dignity of the guard who endured insult without breaking duty. One elderly veteran in the crowd raised his trembling hand in salute. Others followed, civilians and veterans alike, honoring the guard with respect. Even the little girl who had asked earlier now whispered softly to her mother, "He's braver than that man will ever be." Security escorted the executive away, his head bowed under the weight of humiliation. Cameras caught every step, and within hours the footage would spread across the internet. A wealthy man's arrogance crushed by the unshakable resolve of a soldier who refused to dishonor his duty. When the crowd quieted, the guard finally moved. He adjusted his rifle with precision, reset his stance, and continued his measured march as if nothing had happened. The red mark on his cheek remained, but it became more than an insult. It became a badge of resilience, a symbol of how respect is earned, not demanded. And as silence returned to the sacred ground, the moral was clear. Wealth and power may command attention, but true honor belongs to those who serve in humility. So the next time someone shouts, "Do you know who I am?" remember, respect is not about status, but about sacrifice. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comments.